Ray Gironda. I felt like I had a story I wanted to tell about the sport bike hobby, and over a year ago I started putting words on paper. Just sat down in front of the laptop and started typing. It just generated a book a chapter at a time. I knew what the story was going to be. I knew where I wanted to go, and probably the toughest part was just the discipline of it. Sitting down, wait for my wife and daughter to go to bed, and then go into the office and sit down in front of the laptop and just start typing. Probably took me about a year to create the book. The main character is passionate about bikes. He has an accident. He loses his bike. He doesn't have money to replace it. He works a pretty hard job at a steel mill. Doesn't have a lot of money. He's not happy with his job. His love life's not so great. Things just aren't materializing the way he thought they might at this stage in his life, but his outlet is his motorcycle. He can get on there and disappear, go ride with his friends, and it's his outlet. And then as the story will describe, he has an incident and the bike gets taken away, and he still has a burning passion to ride, and something that him and his buddies come up with as a joke ends up becoming a reality. He and his friends videotape their escapes from police, and then they take that footage and they put it on a website. The website that I generated in the book is actually the real website for the book. So if you want to find out about the web's got a nice link on it. It's a pretty simple website. There's actually a chapter excerpt on the front page of the website if you wanted to get a feeling for what the book is like. You can actually read a pretty big portion of chapter 10. I also feature readers' rides. If I come across a really cool bike in the Birmingham area, I'll take pictures of it and feature it on the website, description about it. You can email me directly if you have questions about the book, or you want to tell me something about what you thought about the book. Anybody can get a hold of me. There's also an events calendar. I've done 3 signing events so far since the book was published. The first one was at Victory Suzuki in Pelham. They had a little Father's Day bash, so I was there for that. My second signing was at Russell Speed Shop in downtown Birmingham. It's a tuner shop and parts shop. I did a signing event there. My most recent one was at the Tilted Kilt on 280 for bike night. Yeah. So that was really successful. So each time I've done a signing, I've sold more books and there's been a better crowd. So I also feature locations, and one of the locations featured in a book is a hairpin. Okay, County Road 25. I was picturing that in my mind when I wrote some of those pieces. So I think any riding area in the country probably has a hairpin that's famous to anybody who's riding a motorcycle, and then I was picturing the hairpin on Highway 25, but frankly they're all over the place. Anywhere in the country's got 1 or 3 of them. Yeah. If you're reading this with the impression that I'm going to glorify or glamorize running from the cops, you need to read a book, because I don't do that at all. It's all fun and games at first, but the wheels start coming off things pretty quick. It kind of turns into a morality tale, to be honest. They're doing something that's fun, but things start to come apart. His personal relationships with his family and his friends, and the stakes get higher. As any story progresses, things have to get more serious. You see if the main character can save himself. So that's kind of how it goes. So I would say to anybody who's looking at this and going, "Oh man, this is some punk wrote this. This is not. I don't want to embrace any of this." Read the book. You may find that it speaks to you and it's very relatable. It's not just relatable to me. It's not just relatable in the storyline. The characters are relatable. The motorcycles are relatable. I go into pretty specific detail on the bikes. I feature bikes from everybody: Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha. The hero bike's a Ducati, but it doesn't necessarily monopolize the story. It's a big part of it, and you can tell that I'm a Ducati enthusiast from my descriptions and stuff, but I've owned and ridden a lot of different machines, cruisers, sport tours, sport bikes, nakeds. I've had, owned, or ridden, you know, one of everything.
Where are you going to sell the book?
The book's for sale at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Books A Million on their websites. You can also purchase it off my website directly, www.therunners996.com. The fictional website in the book is actually the real website in real life. I sent one to Britain to a magazine called PB, which I love. I sent a copy to Road Racer X, Cycle World. I sent one to Jay Leno. He has a book club.
Yeah.
There's nothing in here that's cartoonish or goofy. Nobody's jumping a train with the motorcycle. Okay.
There's no flipping?
No, there's no backflips. That's one thing.
Any gunplay? Yeah.
That's one thing. That was another reason I wrote this book. You asked me what my motivation was. I wanted to write something that I thought represented the motorcycling community with some realism. Hollywood's portrayal of the motorcycle hobby hasn't been real flattering. I think the two biggest movies you've seen so far were probably Torque and Biker Boys. Don't go see either one of them. You'll be disappointed because the action, the storylines are garbage. Action sequences are nothing short of cartoonish. It's rubbish. So writing this, I wanted to write something that anybody could relate to who's in the motorcycle hobby. So I think that's one aspect about the motorcyclist community. They're technical guys for the most part. You know, if you own a bike, you work on it, I think in most cases, or at least a little bit. So I think that a motorcycle enthusiast is really sensitive to stuff that's not true or out of whack. So when you see a bike on a big screen doing something that's not capable of doing, you're quick to call BS on it. There is nothing in here that's not physically impossible. I don't have him jumping anything. I don't have him busting off a mile-long wheelie. There's nothing that would defy the law of physics in here. Everything is very realistic. Everything that's in here is plausible. You know, the police don't have AK-47s, and the bike's not equipped with nitrous and a jetpack. It's all very, you know, it's still exciting stuff, but it's very strongly based in reality. So purely fictional work. It's just supposed to be entertaining. I'm not condoning this kind of behavior on the street. If you feel the urge to see what your bike can do, go do a track day at Barber. Go take it to the drag strip and steal. You know, there's a place and a time for that stuff. On the street's not it.